We got our last one. We're at the back end, back-to-back flights. And I didn't listen to your advice. I listened to this one first, and I don't know if I should have or not, but I liked it. So what can you tell us about it?
Back-to-back flights is my second favorite song. And back-to-back flights is pretty much taking you on that trip to Miami with me.
I had that same feel.
I really like, after that whole experience, I came home and I was like, I have to write a song about that. From the highs, the lows, like the argument I had with my boy and got called a sellout, like just because, you get in the heat of the moment, man, and sometimes, not 13, 14 guys can fit in one section somewhere at the club, and some people felt some sort of way, and we worked it out. They're my boys for life, but in the heat of the moment, I got called a sellout at one moment because they didn't understand the length of the relationship that me and Reem had, and how much he was trying to show me a good time. And then at the end of the trip, they were all like, "Oh," and that was more so what it was on. Parker, welcome to the podcast. But yeah, back-to-back flights was pretty much me getting that out. Because I walked away from that trip and I want to make my people proud, and I walked away from it I had some happy, but I had some upset, and those that were upset, I still wanted to let them know in some sort of way I cared. Right. And that's where the spoken word at the end of back-to-back flights comes from. It's really me talking to them, there's a purpose for all of this, and there's a method to my madness, and I may not be perfect, and I may not make the right decisions all at the right times, but just know every decision that I make is out of love, and I love every single one of y'all. And it was just a great way to end off the album, just to let people know, hey, man, I'm on the way still, and I'm out here doing this, and I'm out here doing that, and I'm doing things that I need as a human. Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to be in the same four walls. I'm not trying to be boxed into just Willoughby. I'm not trying to be boxed into Euclid or anywhere else in Cleveland. Trying to go worldwide. I just did a fucking international collab. So as soon as I did it, my manager Jake was like, "We're going to Africa." I was like, "All right." He was like, "No ifs, ands, or buts." He was like, "No, we're going to Africa." I was like, "Say less."
Right. That's awesome. I think I'm glad you mentioned the spoken word on that, because I think that was my favorite part of the song.
It's mine too.
Do we have a spoken word album coming from J-Word?
I don't know about an album. But
EP?
We're definitely going to be dabbling with the spoken word more, because I was sitting with Trey and doing our first run through of the album together after getting all the final mixes, and we're just sitting there and the song's getting ready to go off, and he clicks the pause button. He's like, "Can we just talk about how you just fucking turned into a poet overnight? Where the fuck that come from?" I was like, "I've always had that, bro."
I mean, a rapper is just a poet on beat.
Exactly.
All right, so that gets us to the end. Is there anything after we've covered all of them that you think we probably should have covered and added on any of the songs? I think you hit most of them out of the park.
Yeah, I think we really got a good explanation of why and why. I can't talk great either today either.
It's always good when we're doing recording and neither of us can talk good. Artwork on the album. That's one thing we didn't cover. You said Trey Smith did the design and Jacqueline did the photographs, right?
We found a dope ass abandoned building that we also shot the New Level video for. So the New Level video, it's gonna be the album cover got brought to life,
right?
And after doing the photo shoot and everything, part of the reason I was bitching about copyrights earlier, there was a picture of me, it's pretty much the same picture that's on the cover, but it's just from a different angle of me sitting looking at my phone. And the first draft of the cover that we made, I'll send it to you so you can put a graphic up on the screen. It'll be in Colin's Conversations exclusive, so they can see what the first cover should have been. But we were worried about the copyrights from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's photographers. We did a views treatment, how Drake did Views, and he was sitting on top of that big building. I am sitting on top of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you just see the dopest back of Cleveland in the background, and I just fell in love with it, and I was just like, man, this is it. Showed it to my managers, and she was like, "Where'd you get that picture from?" I was like, "Google," and she was like, "No, we need to do better. We need to get better." use our own photography, all that stuff like that. And yeah, you use the picture and cut yourself out of the picture, but like let's start thinking on a bigger scheme because this is a big project for you. And instead of using someone else's idea and like building off of it on your own, let's just start with our own idea and see where we go. And so I went back with Trey and was just like, all right, well, we got to revisit this cover idea, man. And we're sitting there trying to figure it out. And I go through all the pictures again from the photo shoot and I send him like my top 5 favorites. And then we came to the one because it's got the clock sitting in the back in like the bottom left corner if you really like pay attention to the cover. And I was like, yo, this is it. And then we make it. And like we literally are just sitting there making it for probably about a good 2.5, 3 hours. Just sitting there trying to figure out how we want the text to be, like where we want this to be. And then I'm like, yo, throw that gold frame back on there. Because fun fact, Trey Smith has done every single one of my covers.
All right.
Every single one of my covers, Trey Smith does. And that's my brother. And that's like a tradition that we're trying to keep moving forward. Like him at least have a hand in every single one of my covers.
Right.
And like, I mean, would be completely comfortable with him doing them all. But like, you know, we're just trying to evolve as we keep going further and further. And like, that's my bro, man. And like, that's one motherfucker that I can sit there and look at and say like, has the same equal amount of relentlessness when it comes to waking up and tackling the grind of this music shit every single day. Waking up at 8 a.m. and making a beat for somebody, engineering somebody, doing graphic design for somebody. And like, you know, I be tripping about getting my fucking Work Wednesday verse done every week. So like, I see his grind and on top of my grind, we really like do this shit together. And like, that's my bro, man. Like, and Trey, like, I'm saying this on live, my motherfucking nigga. Like, ain't no, here's your roses, you know, you getting them. You my dog.